Hello guys, it's time for another vlog. So this week has been actually a rather relaxing week, being the fact that there was a holiday on Monday. So basically, took most of the weekend basically taking it easy, getting yard work done, straighten up around the house. I actually had to get, finally got my garage door fixed because about the last 2 months the spring had broken in the garage door. And so we had somebody finally come out and fix that, so that's done. You always love having a house. And those little things that come up that you never expect that always go wrong, but that was one of those things that had to be fixed. So luckily, there was no cars in the garage, because when the spring was broken, I guess the hinge was broken, and when you, of course, manually undid the garage to manually open and close it, it just slammed shut really tight. And then would only open up about this much, and that was it. So if there was a car in there, it wasn't coming out. It's fun bringing the lawnmower through the house to cut the grass, I'll tell you that. But so yesterday, there was the big Sony Computer Entertainment Japan conference that I watched all of it. And I talked a little bit about in my video yesterday. And it was about 2 hours. And it was funny because, in a sense, it was kind of the presentation you would get at somewhat of an E3 presentation, but the crowd's quiet. Now, of course, I watched the English version, and so you had the translators, and there was a point where the translators either couldn't keep up, or I'm not sure what was happening there, because they changed translators, and of course my wife was watching with me, was kind of laughing. She's like, it's kind of funny they have a female translator talking, a female voice for a male guy talking on stage. But then again, it was the same voice. It's not like they changed it per person or anything like that. But there was a lot of news on the PlayStation 4 yesterday. And of course, everybody, Dragon Quest Heroes, I talked about already, of course. The new Ys game, of course. But there were other games that come out. Like, in the Vita, they really quick showed a small, 2-second thing and the title Way of Samurai, which I guess kind of surprised to see that. It's one of those, games that, have been out before that you just don't think about. Of course, Earth Defense Force 4.1. That's interesting how that's become a series, like it has. Of course, Disgaea 5, which I have 3 on the PlayStation 3. I have a lot of fun because I just love the humor, and it is a strategy game, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it has like humor. Maybe call it crude humor at times, but still, I love the humor of those games from NIS America. And then, of course, Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, which is rather interesting. And they also unveiled Hot Shots Golf, a new Hot Shots Golf with the PlayStation 4, which I think over there they call it Everybody's Golf. And it was funny because when we were watching that, Everybody's Golf, my wife goes, "What's that?" I go, "That's got to be Hot Shots Golf," even though they didn't call it Hot Shots Golf. So a lot of cool stuff for the PlayStation 4, and of course the Metal Slime PlayStation 4, which looks really cool. My thing about what I hope Sony does over here is they bring, a collection of different games, not just, hey, here's the most popular game, here's a shooter, here's whatever, One of the things that I think propelled the PS3 later on, for me at least, was the RPGs and other stuff. And hopefully they concentrate and bring variety back to the system. Because I think that's one of the problems we lost last generation, was there wasn't as much variety as we wanted. It was either, here's all this one type of game and there's a bunch of them for like a whole year. And then here's this other type of game and there's a bunch of them. Instead of just being variety. Like, wasn't so much at times for the last generation. So enough about that high horse. That's, I've already beat that to the drum. So I've been actually looking at my games this week. Looking at the games that I actually need to beat, that I've never beaten, even though I like the game. And so, near the end of the week, I want to, by the end of the week, though it could happen sooner than that, I could just sit down and start playing it, or after this video, I'm going to start playing through, picking one of the games and just play through it until I beat it. Because there are RPGs I have that I've never beaten or play that I want to play. I need to get into those and beat those games. It's time to sit down and just spend the time and play. Even if it's only an hour or two a night, just continually playing it till I get to the end of the game. I saw the whole developers signing this, signing the petition against, of course, hate and that stuff. And it only happened because, let's be honest here, because, things happen to people who are developers and things happen to game journalists. They don't care until something like this happens, and then all of a sudden they all sign this petition. Now, it's great they signed this petition. This is something that shouldn't have happened a while ago. The problem is, of course, they're blaming the gaming community. The gaming community needs to stop hating whatever. Well, truthfully, it's on all sides. It's not just on the gaming community side. It is on the developer side and all that side too. It's easy to blame the other group, right? It's easy as a gamer to blame the developer. It's easy as a developer to blame the gamer. But truthfully, it's all sides. If this didn't happen on all sides, what happened? You can sign the petitions all you want. It's not going to get rid of the comment section in videos or in articles on the internet. It just ain't going to happen. Until somebody cracks down on the comments, it's not going to happen. And not every negative comment is a bad comment. If you do something wrong, and listen, especially in this last generation, at least over here, we have started to actually, in a sense, make people who make video games almost like movie stars, that they're now popular. And if you want to be popular, and you want to be known, and you want to get the press, you get the good with the bad. Now, no way am I saying, like the one person, you should go and threaten their life, or literally go to their house, or go track down where they live. That is taking it too far. But to leave a comment saying, to disagree with them, or not like the game or the developer or something they do, for Quinn, her actions, she deserves public backlash for her actions. That if the public decides they don't like it, they have the right to voice their opinion. That's all right. But when you take it beyond just voicing your opinion, when you take it to hack somebody's personal account, that's not right. Would you want someone to do that to you? Then why would you want that to happen to somebody else? That's always been my thing. But they can sign this petition all they want. It actually truthfully means nothing. Because until they do something themselves of policing their section, it doesn't really show any change. It just shows, hey, we're signing a piece of paper as symbolism, and we're going to get a little bit of attention, and it's going to blow over in a couple weeks, and no one's going to care. That's all that's going to happen. So, again, I loved Sony's conference in Japan, the games they're releasing there. I just hope a lot of them come over here, and I think that's one of the things when it comes down to me as a gamer that I haven't bought into wanting to get a PlayStation 4 because there hasn't been enough to give me a reason to buy it. The same thing can be said for the Vita, but the Vita is the Vita needs to have more come out to make me buy it than like a PlayStation 4. Like, if I got a Wii U, the next system I would get would be a PlayStation 4. But they haven't given me a reason to have to buy a PlayStation 4. That's the problem right now. And you look at the amount of money that is, and it's like, that's $400. You better be giving me, sometimes it's good to let a catalog build up before you buy something. So, and I got a lot of other old games. That's the other thing I want to do. I need to get these. I have this habit of going. This vlog's gonna be really long, and I'm sorry, but I just rambling on. I happen to go to when I go to a game store, and I get games. I have this really bad habit of settling for games. What I mean by that is, I will look around until I find something to buy, instead of being like, okay, this is the game I want, this is the game I want. And it's not that I not interested in the games I pick up, because I am, but they're not like, wow, I really don't have these games. Like, for example, I still don't have Final Fantasy 13 or Chrono Trigger, for example, on the Super Nintendo. Those are two RPGs I had and have very fond memories of, but I still don't own them. Of course, I have Mega Man 2, but I don't have Mega Man 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which I all played. And of course, I don't have Ninja Gaiden 3, but I have 1 and 2. Those holes, instead of going and buying a bunch of stuff that I'm interested in or may want, go and get the ones that mean memories to me, I really need to do that more often. Not to saying I don't like the games that I pick up. I know it's stretch of imagination. Every game I buy, I plan to at least to play at some point. Sit down and spend time with it. Now, granted, some people can argue, well, when you have over 1,000 games, how are you going to ever play all of them? Well, you may not ever play through the whole thing, but you can have, let's say, friends come over, or let's say me and my son are sitting here, and we're like, you know what? Maybe him or me go, you know what? I never played this game. I want to play a game and put in it, and we may spend the whole day playing that game. That just because, you may not play all the way through the game. Like, for example, how many people have actually played all the way through Road Rash on the PlayStation 1? It's an incredibly fun game. I absolutely love this game. But am I ever going to get to the end of it? Probably not, because I really can't get through the San Francisco level with the train cars or trolleys and other stuff. But still a very fun game. So, anyway. That's enough of my rambling for this vlog. Like always, guys, thanks for watching my vlog. And I'll talk to you guys again for another video soon. Thanks for watching.